It's the end of day 2 of my hunger strike for awareness for the Couran Cove humanitarian crisis. Please sign our petition on savethecove.com to spread awareness. Tell your friends. At the beginning of this, before I started, I had a weight of 76.15 kilograms. By the end of day 2, I had a weight of 73.85 kilograms. It's a little more than I would have expected, but hey, I'm no biologist. At start of day 2, I woke up and my shoulder was a bit sore. That cleared up by about midday. I'm going to assume that was just me sleeping wrong. Now, I did some research and it seems under the Water Supply Safety and Reliability Act 2008 for Queensland, if a water provider ceases providing water, the Queensland government can in fact take control of the infrastructure under emergency powers for operating particular infrastructure. They could maybe take control of the water infrastructure. That could be a win. Now, interestingly enough, I was also forwarded a letter addressed to Tim Baker, the CEO of the Gold Coast City Council. Apparently this letter was sent to him in April 2023 and has yet to have a response. Let me quote you a few important parts of it. It has been reported to us by 2 credible sources that the mayor was invited on a short holiday to the Whitsundays Islands by Mr. Simon Napoli, who is the owner of the resort and utilities company at Couran Cove. The timing of this invitation is in itself worrying, as it happened at a time when the various disputes were underway and some matters were before the courts. Could I respectfully request that you confirm if the mayor has engaged in any direct conversation with Mr. Napoli about Couran Cove? Did he receive an invitation to go on a short holiday with Mr. Napoli to the Whitsundays? And did he take up that invitation? This information is important to us, insofar as it might explain, in part, why the council does not take as proactive role in seeking a resolution to this ongoing dispute. So what's seemingly suggested here is that there might be some corruption with Tom Tate, the mayor of the Gold Coast, and some questions were asked to see if that was true. It's now 10 months later, and there has still been no response to that letter. Why? If there's nothing to hide, why is there no response? Is this actually something which is happening? So, I pose the question, has there been any donations from Simon Napoli, Lachlan McIntosh, or any of their associated companies towards any state or council elections or parties in any way? Have they made contributions to the Fadden Forum? When and who to? These are important questions into finding out why the government has not taken action. Water and sanitation are human rights. So why has nothing happened? When you ask, you get responses like, there's an ongoing legal case, or there's a civil matter. But neither of these should override core human rights. These are in actual fact human rights violations occurring right here on the Gold Coast. They're not even considered a remote community by the Gold Coast City Council. They have to pay the standard rates. Now, I could understand if this was out in Whoop Whoop, in the middle of nowhere, where there is no infrastructure, but this is in the Gold Coast. There is infrastructure there. It seems there is, at least for water, some legislation that says that the government can take control if services are no longer provided. Yet nothing. For a year. Questions about potential corruption in the Australian government, which could have been responded to in a simple email. 10 months later, no response. A year, these people have been without power, water, sanitation, gas. Something is wrong here. Something is seriously wrong. And we need to find out answers as to why. The body corporate owns all the service infrastructure for the water, the electricity. The service provider does not. Yet the service provider refuses to allow the body corporate, the residents, to actually run and operate it at their own cost, letting the infrastructure slowly degrade to a point where it will soon no longer be usable, or already no longer be usable and have to be completely replaced. A year of people living without dignity, without their own human rights. We need to do something, and we need to do something now.